Next nephew.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What we talking about?
What's the first piece of thing we need to catch up? Shit, we need to catch up on trades. We need to catch up on trades and buyouts. There was a lot of stuff happening in the NBA that we didn't really touch on.
I mean, it's hard to keep up with all that, man. That was a lot going on in a short amount of time. Everybody shook the dice on this deals.
Special trades, crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 3-way trades, crazy.
Which trade or buyout stood out the most to you?
To me, it was Kyrie to the Mavs. And actually, you know what? Russ to the Clippers. I didn't see that coming.
Really?
I didn't see him going but I didn't see him going to the Clippers. They did have a point guard at one point. They did have John Wall, but then I think he's back with the Rockets again, right?
Yeah.
That made no sense at all. Like, literally, you held him there while you developed young talent, and you just kept him on the bench. He's gone. He could, play again somewhere. Now you come back. For all that, he might as well go back to the Wizards. He'd have been more comfortable there and actually maybe even played more. But like I said, just Russ still being in LA, pretty much playing in the same building, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Just for a different team. That's not something you think you're going to see. That's weird to me, but there we have it. But it is a topic now with Kevin Durant to the Suns, because that just seems like a move for a ring. Because they were already in the finals, the year before last?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and they pretty much had the same team. Yeah. But we'll see, guys. His debut is happening. So we'll see what he got going on, man. We'll watch him cook. We know one thing, he's going to get a bucket wherever he goes. So that's not going to be a problem.
Absolutely. Ron, what you think?
That Kyrie thing happened fast. I'm not gonna, like you ask for a trade and they trade you to the Mavs.
They couldn't wait to get him out of there.
And then it's pretty much like the Nets went back to what we saw them once before with them bringing back Spencer Dinwiddie. Only person they didn't bring back was LeVert. But LeVert's actually balling at the Cavs. So that was the one to me. I'm like, wow, like,
yeah, a lot of players are going back to their original team. Like, look at D'Angelo Russell. He's back with the Lakers again, is he not?
Yep.
And like they couldn't wait for that man to develop. They got him out of there just for him to come back, which is a weird concept to me. Like, you had all this time with this guy, all these young talent that are shining elsewhere, and now you bring him right back. That's weird, but
he back in the locker room with different people now, so it's a different dynamic.
It's a different dynamic, same ownership, but the guy that got you out of there, you're back with him now.
Mm-hmm. And
the guy that was like, well, no, he got out there right before LeBron, I believe.
Yeah, LeBron was on there.
They were clearing space for him.
Yeah, he had the issue with when Kobe was still there with the locker room issue, right? I thought that happened when Kobe was there with the young guys and Russell.
No, he got into it with Nick Young.
Yeah, that was when Kobe was still in the league.
Oh, was it?
Kobe
might have been.
Kobe was still in the league because D'Angelo Russell was there with Julius Randle.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I say it was a whole different locker room.
Yeah, before because like Randall blossomed, Ingram blossomed, Russell blossomed, all these guys blossomed outside of their organization. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll say I was Kyrie. I wasn't surprised by. I was surprised by Durant. I will say that I wasn't expecting Durant to get traded because until obviously he called for a trade, but I didn't see that coming. What
was it? The Nets organization? Because it seems like
shaking your head. It wasn't. Nobody was thinking
organization.
Right. I said nobody was thinking KD was getting traded. At least because he had a long-term deal. That's all I'm saying. He's got a long-term deal. You still got a solid team. I personally, wouldn't be looking to trade him. But he requested a trade, so again, that was a surprise to me. I didn't see that coming personally. But one team that I think finally did what we all called for them to do, which is why I don't know that they didn't do it in the beginning, in the offseason, is the Lakers. Finally, you got some shooters. Finally, got some young guys on the team. So great trades, but we'll see if it's enough to get them into a decent spot in the playoffs, if they even make the playoffs now that LeBron's hurt. But finally, because that's what we all call for, which is why, again, don't know why they experimented with Westbrook. Even though Westbrook wasn't terrible, I'll give him that. He did change up his game a little bit and adapted to the role that they asked him to play. But don't know why he even went there to begin with. Get some quality role players around LeBron and AD, and you got a better chance to win a chip.
What determines it being a quality player for LeBron? Because he's had quality players that just
let me clarify my words. I would say the right pieces that fit.
Yeah, because I mean,
so he's again. You're right. He had quality players, as we saw from what you just brought up about Randall, Hart, and all these other guys that got moved on to other teams. But the right fit at the right time for LeBron and AD, I should say, to clarify what I mean by quality players, but really just the right players for them.
It has to fit.
Right.
That's one thing it has to do is fit. Fit and be available, be present for the games.
AD.
LeBron too.
Well, I mean, look,
LeBron's been there most of the games. He played like 45 out of the 50. How many games he played so far? 55 games?
Off topic, but did y'all hear Charles Barkley's comments on load management?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've been talking about that for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I certainly agree. Like he said, they got dudes who work in a coal mine, work 5-6 days out the week. That's hard work. That's hard on the body. And granted, I'm not saying basketball is not hard on the body, but you're not getting coal miner money. And they come in 5-6 days a week. You're getting millions. And there's people who might have saved up like months to come see you. Right. Now they can't see you because it's on load management night. That's wild.
And the biggest thing that he said that stood out to me is like Charles Barkley's era, the older era, right? They played majority of the games, at least tried to play as many games as they could, making less money.
Mm-hmm.
None of the latest technology and everything we got. So right now, you got the best technology, the best nutritionists, the best trainers, everything you could ask for to be healthy and be available, but yet still some of our top players aren't available.
They had ice baths. That's it. As soon as the game was over, they had a bathtub full of ice.
So it's like you got millions of dollars to take care of your body. What's the excuse?
A lot of these players are choosing just not to be available. It's just simple as that. And as much as they want to say all this other stuff, they're making choices. Like at least like go back to LeBron. At least when it comes to AD seeing games, he was actually hurt. Like LeBron was not hurt. He was just sitting.
Did you see his post recently of his ankle that I guess he heard pop?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen it. I'm not a doctor. Allegedly, people say don't even look swollen. But he's hurt.
Man,
he got the boot on, so he's hurt.
No, it kind of go back to this, right? They were kind of touching on it on Undisputed, but this is the great thing about having a podcast, right? You get to really unravel it. So y'all saw LeBron was at the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. And so if you think about this, right, there's a lot of pressure being a Laker than any other NBA organization.
He signed up for this, though. He chose this life.
He did. So when you are sitting out and you're losing and you're a Laker, it does not look good. So now when you do actually have an injury, people are questioning the injury because you're always sitting out.
You're well rested. So they're wondering how you got hurt.
Now, granted, you mean shit, it's hard to turn down a Super Bowl ticket, but then at the same time, you mean you gotta follow other people like a Magic, like a Kobe, anything when it comes to being a Laker. Because even going back to this, right? Going back to Charles Barkley, they were touching on about KD's leadership. And again, KD's leadership is very hard to touch on because at the end of the day, you're not really in the locker room with it. You don't really know what type of leadership he's doing. You know, some people are vocal leaders, other people are leaders by example. But at the end of the day, when it comes to, I'll say certain points, whether you catch it or not, KD ain't no leader, bro.
He doesn't come across. He comes as somebody he's a flow person. He contributes to the flow of the game.
He just wants to hoop.
He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, so he comes through like, all right, I got this, that, and the third. I got this for you. I got that for you. I don't got this for you. You know, stuff like that.
Right. That kind of segues to this point. You know what I mean? Because when I think about KD, I think about 3-point shots. Does today's game really require majority of the people on the floor to have to be able to shoot the three?
So I've thought about this a lot. It's not required, but it's almost forced upon everybody to shoot the three. So one criticism that started with Ben Simmons is he couldn't shoot the three. The man would do layups all day, dunks all day, play great defense, but they harped on him not shooting a three ball. The three ball, granted, yes, it's worth more points, but I'm not sure it's become the focal point slowly more and more since its inception. It has its own contest. So there's a special role for the 3-point shot, but I don't think the league should revolve around it. And I hate that people try to blame Steph Curry. People were jacking threes before Steph Curry. Let's be honest. Like, Shaq has a 3-point recorded. I'm just saying, people have shot threes. The volume of threes has grown over the years as the familiarity with the shot has grown. I see your face, E.
Okay, I mean,
you blame.
No,
blame Steph Curry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, yes, they may have attempted threes. Like, yeah, Shaq attempted a three, but motherfucker, dudes were not shooting threes at the rate they're shooting, like you were saying, until Curry and the Golden State Warriors started showing that you could win and be successful the way they were. And then you started seeing guys pulling up in transition from three.
Well, because in a sense, the thing I do respect about the deep three, it forces somebody to have to guard you at half court, because nobody's shooting half court shots like that yet. People do shoot them but you know, it does bring the elements to the game. Like, okay, I can't just get back and try to just go for rebounds. I can't leave certain people open. Like guys like Steph and Dame, you have to guard from half court. They want to give you, giving you work from half court to the baseline. But the fact that we're seeing centers like Joel Embiid shoot threes bothers me. Because at first, it was more of a European center thing to do. So we see like guys like Mehmet Okur and Dirk, who were the main European guys shooting threes. But now we got everybody doing it. We got Giannis shooting threes, and it looks painful when he shoots, because he loads it up. It's like a catapult. Like, he makes them sometimes, but like a guy like Giannis, I don't need him to shoot threes. Like, him driving to the hoop, he's mastered that. It's become more and more finesse the more he plays, and it's great. People try to he's not skilled, but it's still a skill to get to the bucket and put the ball in the hoop.
Right. I don't think today's game really requires you to shoot the three. I think it just, people who are talking about it make it have high value. Like when prime example, like when you said people blame Steph. I think blame is a strong word. I don't think they blame Steph. I think honestly, when I look at the NBA, it's kind of like the NFL, but not actually like the NFL is like this. I think the NBA and the NFL have something similar in a sense of being a copycat league, right? Where like there's a lot of dudes on the Warriors that can shoot threes, but at the same time, they have a different. They play a different. They actually play team ball over there when it comes to shooting threes versus everybody else that we're talking about have this isolation game when it comes to shooting threes. Dame has an isolation game. Joker has an isolation game. Embiid has an isolation game. KD has an isolation game. Luka, help me out, E. I know there's more people. James Harden, all those
Giannis,
guys,
everybody, all the stars.
All the stars do a one-on-one type of thing when it comes to shooting threes, and not really looking at the true formula when it comes to the Warriors. There's damn near 3 out of 4
motion
guys they can shoot threes.
Yeah, limitless motion. It's just literally guys like Steph. Usually he runs in a circle around the court until a shot is open. It's
right.
Yeah.
So
nobody does that.
So I would say that the Warriors has put the NBA on alert. Like, you need to get your ammo up in order to beat us. Like we kind of saw that last year, Maul, when you was at the Buffalo Wild Wings watching the Celtics and stuff. We seen Al Horford out there shooting threes, and in me personally,
well, he been shooting threes from the house, but he made the most threes that game. That was like so many threes.
But that Williams, that was Williams that hit like 9 threes that one game in the playoffs, right?
That too, Grant Williams, he did too. He was going on too. But I feel like at the same time, that is still the Warriors game that you're going to lose at the end of the day, because that's just that one-off, right? Because me personally, when I was looking at the game and I look at a guy like Steph, the way to nullify his offense is for your offense to go exactly back at him. So he has to guard you. He has to guard you. You're making life easier for him just to be out there shooting threes. Because even when like another person shoot out there, right? When I look at Kawhi necessarily doesn't have to shoot threes, but he does. Though. But when I look at somebody like LeBron's style of play, he either has to shoot the 3 or he got to go to the rack.
I think
when I watch Kawhi, he does shoot the mid range. Go ahead.
Yeah, but look, Kawhi is definitely right now in our generation a mid range sniper, which is kind of old school in today's game. So I don't believe you have to have a team full of 3-point shooters. However, that is way today's game is linked, because you've seen over the past 20 years, literally the mid-range shot, because of Jordan, was what everybody was trying to shoot. And obviously the 2-pointer was the big shot. But that's now doubled in the time. The percentage that they shoot the mid-range compared to 3-pointers is inverse now. So when they were shooting very few 3-pointers, they were shooting more 2s. That has now been flipped. So now they're shooting way more 3-pointers compared to mid-range shots. So I think that is where analytics and the teams are trying to push their guys to. However, if you have a dominant big man, still at the end of the day, you control the paint, you will more than likely control and win the game. So even when everybody talks about Golden State, like you were talking about, they don't realize they're still making a bunch of 2s in the paint because of the motion and everything else. So Steph, he's still making a bunch of layups in the paint. Other guys are making cuts to the basket. So they're still getting easy shots because they're able to space out the floor, because you got to worry about Steph and Clay because they're such elite shooters. So at the end of the day, it's still fundamentals. What is your best shot? What are you good at? Do that well. Don't just try to shoot threes because Steph and Clay shoot threes. If you're Giannis, for example, your best attribute is to get to the basket. Get your ass to the basket. Don't stand out and shoot threes because I know you're not good at it. I'm going to let you do that. I'd rather you shoot the 3 than you take your 7-foot frame and bang on my center's forehead, right? So at the end of the day, I believe you still got to take the best shot, whatever you're really good at. Like Kawhi, he's really good at the mid-range. Take the mid-range shot. Because
they got to live off that.
You got a higher percentage of making that shot than you making the 3 if you're not that great of a 3-point shooter. So I think it still applies. I would love to see big men who have good footwork get into the paint and do some post moves when they can do it. But like you said, we're seeing less and less of that because everybody's wanting to stand out 3-point line. And I think also the reason they do that is to not get hurt. You know, Embiid's had injury history. So he likes you bang in the paint. It's a higher percentage you getting hurt. And I think that's why AD and Embiid like to stand out there on the perimeter.
I don't know. You see guys stepping on somebody's shoe and getting hurt.
True. But I think in their mind, they believe if I bang bodies with people, my chances of getting hurt goes up.
Or also to add on to that too, E, like me banging bodies with somebody and me leaping from under the rim is more of a likely case someone being up under me versus me shooting the three.
Right. So like I said, they're just worried about potentially getting hurt by playing in the paint more, which is one of the reasons why AD doesn't like play center. He want to play power forward so he can stand out and space the floor more.
Yeah, I mean, but getting hurt is it's far and few between under the paint. We're seeing guys get hurt from the three because people closing out and getting in their landing space.
Again, I don't agree with it. I just think that's what mentally I think that's what those guys think about, possibly. I could be wrong.
I mean, something like the three essentially is the key in today's game. It's pretty much it. It's how the game moves forward.
Quality shot. So that's what I was talking about earlier, Ron. When we were offline, we were talking about defense. If now you got 4 people out on the perimeter staying at 3, and I got my guy as the 5th guy 1-on-1, and everybody else can shoot threes, now there's no help defense. Therefore, the paint's wide open. So now it's easier for me. Obviously, anybody that's elite can cook a guy 1-on-1. Mm-hmm. You know, Kobe said the same thing. I ain't worried about the dude in front of me. I'm worried about the next 2 guys behind him. Mm-hmm. So Jordan and all these other guys played with the paint packed, therefore, and still got to the basket. So defense was controlling that paint. Now there's no resistance at all. So that's why you see guys getting easy layups or getting a step back 3 with nobody in their face.
Mm-hmm. No, I got it. As soon as you said it. All right, last topic for the night, and this possibly might be a part 2, because our other boy Javon, he loves talking about guards, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna want some of this. Who is y'all's top 5 in order 1 through 5 all-time point guards? I'm going first.
Well, we're talking about favorites or just how you think they should be ranked?
Not your favorite.
Not your favorite?
Not your favorite. It's not your favorite because this is unbiased.
I'm saying, but it's gonna be somebody's favorite's gonna creep in there. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I hope it's not freaking Mike Bibby.
What's wrong with Mike Bibby? Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I mean, just be realistic.
Yeah. He's still gonna get somebody 20.
Rondo.
All right, what you got, Ron? Go ahead.
Magic Johnson, number 1. Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, I got you. Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul.
Oh, are we debating? We're just gonna call him out.
He
call him out first.
Call it out. Let's see who sounds outrageous.
All right.
You want to go outrageous? I could go. It don't matter to me.
I'll go. I'll let you go last. I know you got something for us. So I don't disagree with your top 2. I get the same: Magic, Curry, and the next 3 though. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna go Oscar, and I'm gonna go Isaiah, and I'm gonna go Stockton.
Look, I'll pick up on what you in a second. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, Magic, Curry, Kidd, Stockton, Hardaway.
Which Hardaway?
Which one? Which Hardaway?
Penny. Because I'm going off.
That's a favorite.
No, because don't think. No, look, I'm going off of storyline and effect on the game as well as marketing. The storyline, the man played in blue chips, and that got him drafted to the Magic. He played so well with Shaq, getting him the ball exactly where he wanted, that they said, I need to draft him. In the second year, they went to the finals.
I mean, I like Penny.
If he didn't get hurt, I'm just saying. I said, but like I think he's going to be just going to be just like Magic.
We ain't talking about guard.
I'm just saying. I'm saying. Okay, I know. I messed it up. All right.
I'll just say it.
I did it on purpose.
Penny, my dude. No. I love Penny. No. I ain't even gonna say he top five, bro.
Take out Penny. I'll put in Chris Paul. I'll put in C. I'll put actually take out Penny. I'll put in Russ.
I mean, Penny got a way to make the top 10.
I said because I went off impact. I went off marketing campaign. There has never been a marketing campaign like Penny's for a point guard.
That's very true. I know how you.
The man, he was that good. Like the man's his move is still undefeated.
So would you take Gary? So I'm just
well, I bet you take out Stockton, put in Payton. I'm sorry, take out Stockton, put in.
I was about to say, would you take Payton over Penny over Payton?
Because look, I'm taking out John Stockton because thing is he's a dirty player. Dirty. I don't care. I'll say it.
Okay, but can I ask you a question? Why you got Stockton over Russell?
One, Russell. So I like to look at, again, preferably, especially when you talk about greatest of all time. I like for the guys to preferably be done with their careers. But someone like Curry, clearly he's one of the greatest point guards we've seen because of his shooting ability. So, all right, got it. So Russell, I think for me would probably be somewhere right after the top 5, like 6 or 7, somewhere that I have to take a look at it. But I mean, he's not far out of it. But I mean, Stockton got the numbers. He played great. I mean, he's one of those guys when you think point guard, you think of guys like that, just quintessential point guard. So that's why I personally would take him in my top 5 over somebody like Chris Paul and Westbrook.
So then my next question is this: what awards does John have for him to be over Russell?
I mean, I'm just looking at stats. Like, so yeah, Westbrook got stats. He's got the accolades because he got the MVP. And yeah, Stockton don't got that. But as
people got MVPs with Russell too, though. Russell got people that are MVPs. He got 2 other people that are MVPs.
Yeah. I'm about to say. I mean, and also he got 3 scoring titles.
I think, again, for me, like I said, once Russell finishes up, he's probably going to land in top 5. But right now, I got him, like I said, probably sitting at 6. Right now.
On paper, without the media saying anything, you probably put Russell in your top 5. If you don't listen to the media, you just look at stats and everything else, you'll be like, oh, this guy is obviously a top 5 point guard. Everything on paper says top 5.
The only thing missing from Russell's resume is a chip. I mean, that's really only reason we're knocking him, and that's again him winning in the big games because he's definitely got his team in the playoff. They played in the playoffs, they played in conference finals, even in the finals. So I mean, he's been in some of these big games, he's just never able to get across the finish line.
All right.